Fred from Alameda has a question about siding.
Well, he's installing it on his garage, Tom. And Fred writes, I'm putting a rot board at the base and attaching it to the panels above. And he sent in this picture of his current siding situation. And
wonderful.
It's not,
yes.
not a moment too soon,
about
Fred.
Time, yes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, he says the foundation clears the ground, as you can see on this picture here, about 2 inches on 2 sides, right? But about 1 inch on the other 2 sides, which butt against the driveway and the sidewall. So, Tom, what Fred wants to know is, what should he use at the bottom between the rot boards and the garage? What's the finish there?
The rot boards, as they call them, hopefully they won't rot, should overhang the foundation at least a half inch to an inch. Okay, so keep that even all the way around. And then a piece of Z-flashing goes on top of it where the siding comes down on top. It's a weather flashing that fits over the top of the bottom board and back behind the siding that comes down on top of that rot board, as he calls it. And that's the proper detail to detail what we call a watershed, and that's what he's creating. It's just a small one. Okay. I hate to use the word rot board.
Should he use? I mean, it seems to me if you're putting it there to prevent rot, wouldn't it be wise to use like a piece of hardy to run along there?
Hardy would be a great idea if you wanted to use a 1x12 or 2x12 or 1x12 for that matter, or 10 or whatever size you want it to be. Hardy is not going to rot.
Right.
When you sit in water, all you want to do is make sure water doesn't crawl up behind that joint between the siding and that board. Quite frankly, Charlie, I wouldn't use it. I would take my horizontal siding down and just start running it up because it's all hardy and it's not going to rot. I would just omit that problem because it gets to be a little tricky when you do that.
Another good reason to use hardy on that job. Mm-hmm. All right, you got questions? We can help you. Go to the Ask Tom tab, and you'll see the videos there, and that's also where you find more of these.